Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar on what makes a great public speaker, what makes a good public speaker, what makes a public speaker effective, engaging, have impact. And the beauty of this webinar is that if we pick one, maybe two things that good speakers do, and we start to internalize that and exhibit that trait, those skills ourselves, we in turn will become better public speakers. And I'm always striving to improve my public speaking, even though I deliver public speaking for my work. This is how I make my living. But I know I'm not perfect, and I watch other speakers and I analyze and I seek coaching and advice. So today, 6 strategies, 6 traits that I think make speakers good. So Peter Dew's my name, and welcome to the webinar. My passion, my purpose is to help you become more effective, more confident, more influential in your public speaking so you can have impact whenever you stand up and speak. How to participate, please take notes, ask questions, write in your comments, any ideas, any thoughts. And the most important one is think and apply to your own unique situation. What have you done, maybe in the past, or what have you got coming up in the future that perhaps you can change, improve, something you can incorporate that'll just take you to the next level. So the first trait, characteristic that good public speakers exhibit is they put their audience first. They make it about the audience for the audience. And this is about understanding that public speaking is not about yourself. So it's not about building yourself up or getting accolades or pats on the back. It's about putting the audience first. It's being audience-centric. And of course, the audience is going to ask, what's in it for me? Those of you sitting in the webinar will be asking, well, okay, Peter, what have you got for me? How can you help me? How can I be a better public speaker? And if I put you first and focus on helping you, that's going to satisfy your needs. That's going to help you move forward where you may be stuck or struggling. So good public speakers, they worry less about themselves and they put their audience first. We have a saying in public speaking, it's not about you. As a public speaker, as a trainer, it's not about you. It's about your participants, your crowd, your audience. It's about serving them 100%. The second trait with good public speakers, and you'll see it all the time, they're very well prepared. You've seen the facilitator or the trainer who says, oh, I wasn't expecting that question. Or I didn't realize there was going to be project managers in the workshop as well as finance managers. And they come across as unprofessional, or they're setting up and they're trying to get the internet working. Or does anyone here know how to make this data projector work, how to get this DVD playing or this MP3 file playing? The audio is not coming through in the video. Can anyone help me? Doing that in front of the crowd, in front of your audience, indicates that you're underprepared. So what do I mean by being well prepared? Well, they know who's in the audience. So the message changes. Different folks, different strokes. They tailor the message for that particular audience. I work with health professionals and disability professionals quite a lot. I do a lot of work in the mining sector, in the oil and gas and resources sector. The content for health professionals and disability professionals is not the same as when I'm working with the mining sector. Different folks, different content. I also work with financial planners, superannuation accounting firms every now and then. Different group of people once again. So in knowing the audience, I can use different examples, different data, different information that's going to appeal to their way of thinking. The metaphor we use for this is walk 30 moons in your enemy's moccasins, a native North American saying. Basically, it means walk in your audience's footsteps before you speak to them. They know their venue. They arrive early, and any problems with the DVD, the data projector, the internet are sorted well before the audience arrives. They know how to turn the lights down. They know how to control the air conditioning. They know if their voice will travel to the back of the room, or is it such a large room that you will need some kind of microphone, headset, speaker system to reach the back of the room. This is knowing the venue. Now, trainers that train in the same facility all the time may become a little bit complacent because you know the room inside out. I, and many people I work with, never know where they're going to be training. I've just come back from Kambalda. I did my first ever workshop in Kambalda, and I've never been in that room before. I arrived early. In fact, I went in at 4 o'clock the day before I was about to present. Just got familiar, let the staff know how I'd like the room set up. I then arrived at 8 a.m, had everything running, working, tested. And then when people arrive at 8:45 for a 9 o'clock seminar, I'm able to be present, shake their hand. Well, we don't shake hands because of COVID, but meet and greet, say hello, and make them feel comfortable. And I get to know them. If I'm still trying to work out how to work the smart TV, which was the case in Kambalda, get the audio working, identify a safety problem, tripping over power cords, then I can't be present. And when I go on stage at 9 o'clock, I'm still in a wound up state because I'm not prepared. I haven't been able to relax. Please know your venue, get there early. Then you can greet and meet people and be relaxed. And know your topic. What do I mean by know your topic? I mean, know your topic so that you can plug and play. If you've got a 1 hour presentation and all of a sudden time gets short and you have to finish it in 30 minutes, can you condense from 1 hour to 30 minutes? The reverse can happen. Someone may not turn up and they might say, Peter, can you speak instead of an hour, can you speak for 2 hours? Are you able to do that? Do you know your topic so well that you can plug and play? Circumstances can change. What if the power goes out? What if midway through your presentation, the lights go out and you no longer have your PowerPoint? Can you still present? This is knowing your topic so well that no matter what happens, you're able to continue with the presentation. I did a workshop once for a sporting group down in Bunbury in the southwest of Western Australia. And welcome, Michaela, and welcome, Shane. We've got a small group on this morning. So I was doing this workshop for the Southwest Academy of Sports in Bunbury, and I was asked to go and speak to 8, maybe 10 people, young athletes, teenagers. And of course, I arrived nice and early. I knew my topic. I was well prepared. I had my printouts ready to go. I printed 15 in case extra people came. And the organizer came out of the room early and said, "Peter, I'm so sorry. We've had a stronger response than I anticipated. There's 85 athletes in the room." So just think about this. You were planning to speak to 8 to 10 people, and I've sort of allowed for 15 just in case. And now there's 85 people in the room. Are you able to deliver your content to 85 people? That unexpected blowout in numbers, in crowd size. So that's what I mean by know the audience, know the venue, know your topic. That way you can be really, really well prepared. You know what questions you're going to be asked. You know what to do if things go wrong. You can recover if the power goes out. If you have to condense your time, you've got it covered. The third thing that great public speakers do, good public speakers, is they give great value for money. And it doesn't necessarily mean value for money. It could be value for time. The idea is when you go to a seminar, when you go to a workshop, when you go to this webinar for 30 minutes and you give of your time, that you walk out feeling that you've got this. And what do I mean by got this? You've got some information that'll help you in your problem. You've got the solution to the thing that you're worrying about. You've got some tips or skills to achieve your goals, to achieve your aspirations, so that you can get to where you want to get. If your audience walks out feeling that they've got this, then you've given great value. If your audience thinks, well, that was a waste of time, I don't know why I attended that workshop, then what you've done is you've delivered just hot air. You've just provided verbal diarrhea. You've given lots of information that doesn't matter, that doesn't create value, that doesn't feel worthwhile to your audience. And remember, the tip number one for great speakers, for good speakers, is they put their audience first. If you put your audience first, you should also be giving good value so that when they leave, they feel that they've got value for their time, value for their money, value for their effort. And that's one of the things that differentiates good speakers and bad speakers. How will you know if you've given value for money? One of the things that I always do, and I'll invite you on this webinar, I ask for feedback. With a workshop, with a facilitation, it's a formal feedback process, a questionnaire where people write what worked for them, what value they got out of it, what are they going to do differently, and also a feedback around anything I could change. Because as I mentioned in my introduction, I'm always striving to be more effective, to take my public speaking to the next level. And it's your feedback that helps me grow, helps me change, helps me deliver value for your time, value for your money. So that's the third tip. Do you give great value every time you present? And one of the things, this webinar is free. And I give this to my workshop participants. And most people who register have done a workshop, have done coaching with me, have heard me speak somewhere before. So this is a way of me continuing the value, adding value by giving a free webinar, a free gift. Maybe you hand out a book or an information flyer or a resource vault so that people that want to know more about the topic have got further resources. And that's just adding to the value that you're giving them. Great speakers, good speakers, tell stories, personal stories, experiential stories, stories that portray the information, the point, the idea they're trying to get across. If I was to leave you with one tip as you move forward, doing public speaking, presentations, workshops, become good at telling stories. Stories create that emotional response. Stories of overcoming adversity, of beating the odds, of success despite difficulties. Stories where you've put the model that you're teaching into practice with a client, with a family that was struggling, and they've come out the other end with positive results as a result of your intervention, as a result of you working with them. These good news stories, these overcoming adversity, demonstrate what you're teaching works. Because here's the thing. People don't remember much of what you've said. What they remember is how you made them feel. And remember, in the value, they give great value, and people walk out feeling they've got this, you've got this, you can handle this. A story that gives that gut feeling that I now know that I can survive this. I now know that I can prepare for my retirement. I now know that I've got enough superannuation, or I know how to get my superannuation or my financial circumstances in place. If you feel that, then I will have impact. So you may not remember the 5-step process, the 3 pillars of success, the 7 strategies that I've shared with you, but if in your heart, in your gut, you think, yes, I now know the way forward, then I will have had great impact. So you need to become good at telling stories. It's going to pause for a moment. Q&A or chat. Feel free to type anything into the chat. Any questions? All right, so one of the things that I work with, one of the groups I worked with, and I mentioned engineers and accountants, and engineers and accountants are number people, logical people, return on investment, risk profile, break-even analysis. These are all numbers. And they're reluctant to tell stories because why would I tell stories? Here's the data, here's the facts, here's the numbers. Why do I need a story? People don't remember the numbers and the data. If you tell a story that demonstrates the success of your numbers, the success of your return on investment, the person who thought they'd left it too late to sufficiently retire or to sufficiently save money for their retirement, and your plan, your system worked for them, it's the story that I'm going to walk away with. So it's not too late, I can do this. I'm going to reread your notes or your handout, or I'm going to ring you up and say, hey, can you run through your 7 steps to financial freedom? or 7 steps to fast track your superannuation. But in my heart, your story has let me know. So that's why even with engineers and accountants, you need to become a good storyteller. Next tip, they are authentic and genuine. So one of the things with public speaking that sometimes confuses people is they feel they need to be really perfect, very polished. And if they were to make a mistake or have a few ums and ahs, or maybe a little bit of a brain drain, you know, it's gone, that they won't be a good public speaker. That is a myth. Good public speakers are real. They're imperfect. They're authentic and they are genuine. The little saying or the little metaphor I use to try and capture this is who I am on stage, who I am today, as I speak to you on this webinar, is who I need to be off stage. So I present during the day, and then sometimes people bump into me afterwards, lunchtime or down the pub in the afternoon, having a drink in the evening after the workshop. And as they're chatting to me, excuse me, as they're chatting to me, if the person I was on stage is not the same person I now am off stage, then my credibility is going to suffer. Which is the real Peter? The performance Peter or the general everyday Peter? The thing is, it's the normal everyday Peter that I need to bring to the platform, to the training room, to the stage, and I need to be genuine and authentic. That means you come to this platform with your bald head, your big nose, your pimples, your warts, your imperfections. You don't worry about being perfect. And finally, they come across as comfortable and confident. There's a great TED Talk, www.ted.com, by a lady named Amy Cuddy. Amy talks about faking it until you become it. So she talks about your breathing, your nonverbal communication, the way you walk on the platform. So please understand, public speaking is nerve-wracking. But when I go on stage, I appear confident and I appear calm. And people say to me, Peter, you've got no nerves whatsoever. Yes, I do. I have nerves. It's just that people don't know that I've got nerves because I've learned to make peace with my nerves, with my nervous energy, with my anxiety, especially the big gigs, the big conferences, 250 people. And I'm a nervous wreck. But people say, but you haven't got a nerve in your body, you're so calm. No, I come across as calm and as comfortable because I know that my nerves don't matter. And I also come across as authentic and genuine. So while you're about to walk on stage, it is nerve-wracking, but please be as comfortable, be as confident as you can. You know your topic. You've got this. You're an expert in your field. You're not perfect. Your audience doesn't expect you to be perfect. You're there to serve the audience, put the audience first. It's not about you. So just appear and be confident, be comfortable, and give it your best shot. Summary. Good speakers, great speakers, put their audience first. They're very well prepared. They know who's in the room. They know the room well, and they know their topic. They give value for money, value for time. Become a good storyteller. They're authentic and they're genuine. They're not fake. They don't do a performance. They just rock up and give their real selves and come across as confident and credible and comfortable. Confidence and being credible and being comfortable breeds confidence in your audience. Next webinar, 19th of May, a model for off-the-cuff speaking. Now, this is when you can get a little bit nervous. You've done your presentation, you're now into question and answer, and one person is not happy, or one person asks a difficult question, or your boss asks you for a quick project update that you weren't expecting, and all of a sudden you're speaking off the cuff with no time to prepare. Wednesday, the 19th of May. Workshops, traveling a little bit, 2 spots left in the Real Leadership for Women Masterclass in Karratha. Winning Presentation Skills, Public Speaking, Karratha, 2nd of June. Bendigo, Winning Presentation Skills, 21st of July. There are other workshops, they're all on our website. You know how to reach me. Follow me on Facebook, Corporate Communications Experts, LinkedIn. I deliver content. I don't just market. And share that with anyone that you may wish. And remember, great speakers put their audience first, very well prepared. They give great value for money, tell stories, authentic and genuine, and they come across comfortable and confident. Which of these can you do more of, or can you start to incorporate to make you a better, a greater speaker, presenter, and trainer? This is Peter Dew, signing out for today.